Hey lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my old and new subbies. I'm so glad to have you all here with me today. As the thumbnail show, we are going to be working with some foam plates today from Dollar Tree. I'm super excited about it. What I'm showing you there is the plates I'm going to be working with. The paint color choices I selected for today. And I did all the painting off camera, guys, because it was a lot of painting. So jumping into our first project, guys, I'm going to be using this wall decal here that my good friend Jenny from Lovely Moments Creating sent me. I was super surprised to see it. It was very pretty. I have not seen these at my store, of course. You know, I don't get this kind of stuff. So this picture or this wall decal was the motivation for the color choice of this first project, which is the red color paint. I think it's called Crimson by Waverly. And what you see I'm doing here is I'm taking some of these wood rounds, these miniature wood rounds here, and I'm just creating 3 circles to go because they happen to be the same size as the center of the plates. That's what you saw me doing there. And those are dessert size plates. Those are the little mini tiny ones. So as I trace them out, I'm going to start cutting them, as you can see here, guys. And I want to ask you guys, you know, as we go through all of these projects today, guys, keep an open mind, okay? I know this is going to require a large stretch of the imagination. So as we go down this road together, keep an open mind. Do not be judgmental. Okay, lovies? I wanted to try it. I tried it. And yeah. And I have to say, I'll be completely upfront with you guys. I don't know that I completely kept them from looking like plates, but I did create some things with them. So there's that. So I want to give that disclosure up front. You know, we don't have any hidden fees here on this channel. Okay, we put everything up front for everybody to see. So as I cut the circles down, I start placing them in the middle here, and I'm just going with the flow, guys, okay? And I'm going to tell you too, also, all of this is self-explanatory too, guys. So you know I have to have my moments of just running my mouth. So I'm going to tell you guys, one of the projects I did X, okay, the process. I X the process. but I did leave a picture of it for you guys in the final reveal for you for you guys to see, okay? Because it was a hot mess on top of hot mess on a hot summer day, okay? So it was just yeah, it's a do-over indeed, if I ever was to do this over. But I'm thinking what I should have done with it when we get to that point. I know I'm jumping ahead, but I just want to say, with all the projects today, I think I should have done more kitchen decor projects with them. I think it would have made more sense to use the plates. But you guys can let me know as we go through, because I have 4, technically 5, but I'm just going to show the process of 4. So now let's jump back to our regularly scheduled program. And what you see I'm doing here, once I get these wall decals centered in the middle, I did not make them perfect because I knew I was going to be adding in this macrame rope to go around them in the center, and I go around about 5 or 6 times on each one. And I was going to take it all the way to the edges, but I was like, no, because I want some of that red to come through, so you know, so you can see it against the wall decal. So that's why I did it this way. And I mean, again, these are not perfect, guys. These are just me doing something different, testing it out to see if it's gonna float or if the boat is gonna sink. I don't know. I was just doing May, and I was just going. So I'm gonna take some hot glue, as you guys can see there, connect them together, and fight with the glue webs along the way, as I often do, but it's no big deal. It's a glue web anyway. So I take some of my tire tumbling blocks here, and I'm going to use those for support. And what I do off camera as well is I do take one of my flat wood dowels, and I use that to go across all three in the back. But again, I did that off camera, and that just added more stability to this, because again, we're working with foam plates, and the more things I was adding to this, it was creating more weight, even including the paint, because I did about two, oh my goodness, 2 coats of paint on the front and the back, and then I sealed them with the multi-purpose Mod Podge. So that's what I did there. So here I'm taking some of these laser cutouts that came out at Dollar Tree a couple years ago, and they started expanding out to ones with some color in them. And I initially thought these leaves would probably play nice in here because it does share the color of some of the floral prints there, but I didn't really like the way it looked. It wasn't giving me the vision that I had. So I ultimately decided to not use those. But what you also see I'm doing here is adding in some greenery that I picked off from one of my graph sheets, and it started looking a little Christmassy here, guys. So again, me playing around with things, I just was like, okay, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep going. So then I took one of the family laser cutouts that you can also find at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna add that in, and then I'm going to take some half beads, because I was like, okay, it still needs something, you know, where it's connecting, because I was still getting plate vibes. And I mean, on camera, as I'm looking at it, it does look more like wood rounds, but I was still seeing plates. So, and that could just be, you know, a mental thing. That's just something because I knew what I was working with, and that's all I could see. So anyway, I decided to go ahead and just color the half beads in red, glue pieces of the greenery on either side of the family word, and afterwards too, I also thought maybe I should have did a full round, like a full backing of the family word with the greenery. But again, you guys can let me know. Okay, remember this, we're keeping an open mind, we're opening our mind, we're expanding, we're receiving what's happening here. We may not agree with it, but we're receiving it, so let's just receive it. Okay, and so once I do that, I add it on, and on camera too, I don't know if you can really see it that well, like, because the colors are really blending into that print, but in real life you can see it, like in actually you can see it, it's there, you can see family. So then I'm adding in that greenery, I'm gluing it down, guys. Again, just using some hot glue here, does not require much, because all of this is very lightweight, so it's not going to pull the greenery is not going to pull down on the plates. And once I do that, then I go in and I start gluing down the half beads. And I actually end up doing 4 across opposed to just the 2. And this is where I'm thinking, like, you know what, this is giving more Christmas vibes, like berries, things like that. So I don't know. Hey, we got Christmas in July, right? So we're going to just roll with that. But it wasn't intended to look like Christmas, but I just think the colors took me there. So next, what I wanted to do is, because I wanted to make this as a hanging piece, since I added the greenery to the bottom, I'm just going to go in with some of this nautical rope and put that on the back, as you can see there, where I put the tower tumbling blocks, or the TT blocks, you know what I call them. And I'm just going to glue that off with some hot glue. I didn't really see a need to add in anything stronger than the hot glue, but you know, time will tell and we'll see. But as for right now, it's still hanging strong. So I do decide to spread out that nautical rope a little bit, because it just seemed, I don't know, it seemed off, just going straight up the middle. So I stretched it out a little bit to the sides, and I do prefer that better. And guys, you'll see everything in the final reveal. So next, we're moving on to 2 of the larger foam plates that I colored, are painted in the color Ink by Waverly. And I'm just adhering those together just like I did the first project, but this one is going to be going vertical opposed to horizontal. So same process, I painted it, gave it 2 coats, put the multi-purpose Mod Podge on. Now you see I'm going in with a popsicle or crafting stick just to add some security to it. And once I get that done, we're going to go ahead and take some of these flat wood dowels here that I ordered these off of Amazon. I think they're like 14 inches or something. No, I think they're like 18 inches if I'm not mistaken. But again, I got them off Amazon, had them forever. What I decided to do is I'm going to take some of my hazelnut color paint by Waverly, and I'm going to stain them. Originally, I thought that I was going to use my burnt umber because that's normally what I use, but I thought it would be too dark up against the black, so I wanted something lighter in color. So that's why I opted for the hazelnut. And I'm glad I went that way because it stayed very close to the natural color once it dried. And that's kind of the look I was going for, because I didn't want it too light, but I didn't want it too dark. So then what I do is I just add them on either side, and I just eyeball them. I did not line them up correctly at all, but you know, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because I'm going to camouflage. I'm going to hide it. Nobody's going to know that they were not even, okay? So then I take my third flat wood dowel here and I cut it down to a size that I want. Again, not really measuring it, just Mayballing it all the way. These are May measurements, hands down, and they were not accurate. Okay, so I clip them down to size. I do a total of 2 for the bottom and 2 for the top. And I just use the leftover pieces for the top. And again, you really won't be able to tell. The only way you're going to tell is because I'm telling you. But that's what I did because I didn't want to cut down 2 more wood dowels just to get the 2 sizes and have all the extra scraps. I hope that makes sense, but that's why I did what I did. So you know how my brain goes, guys. Y'all know what happens in this brain doesn't always happen right, but it happens and there's nothing we can do with it or do about it. So here I'm taking these really pretty white and like pale color pink eucalyptus that I picked up from Michael's a few months ago, and I'm just placing them right in the center. No rhyme, no reason, just gluing them together. Like I put down the white ones and then I twisted the 2 pink ones together, and I'm just gonna glue them down right in the middle. And the pink ones do kind of go off to the side, but that's okay because it kind of works out in our favor at the end of the day. And so once I get them placed, I just add in some more hot glue, just in little places here and there, just to make sure it's secure. Then I decided, okay, I'm going to add in some Spanish moss here. Now, I was on the fence of, do I want to go with like a more green type of moss or with the more rustic or Spanish looking moss? And I decided on the Spanish moss, and I just felt like it tied better here. Again, I think this is probably a piece that can probably go more into fall or Christmas, but hey, I was just plate driven here. I wasn't really thinking about my color choices heavily, you know. I know, y'all know, but yeah, so that's what was happening here. And then afterwards I'm like, okay, well, you got a little mix of seasons going on here, May, so you're giving them a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and yeah, so there we go. So then next I take some more of that the flat wood dowels. I'm sorry, I take the wood dowels and glue them down, and then I take more of the Spanish moss and just start filling in the spaces where I felt like it needed it. And again, that was pretty much it, guys. I do think, again, I'm still seeing plates here, but I think, like I said earlier, it's just me knowing that I'm working with the foam plate. So I think it could totally look like a wood round on camera and in person. I really do. I think, again, it's just me. So as I was saying, I took the leftover pieces from the wood dowels, and I'm just going to cover up the top part of the other 2 wood dowels. And then I take that one and I'm going to cut it down in half. And that's so I can create an angle. What's that? Is that 45-degree angle? It's one of those angles. I think it's 45 degree, whatever it is. So I'm going to do that so I can create an angle for that, and we're going to put those on, and we're going to get those glued down. And once I do that, I don't know why I left that part in, but okay, anyway. So once I do that, I'm going to take some of the wooden stickers. There were laser cut out wood. Oh, nope, I'm lying. No, I'm going to take a piece of black jute rope that I had in my stash that was left over. It was a little scrap. And I created a hanger for the back of this. So yeah, I jumped ahead of there. So what I did here was I just added in some painter's tape to make sure it stayed in place until that glue completely dry. So here is where I'm going to take some of these laser cut out stickers that you can find at Dollar Tree in the Crafter Square section, and I'm just painting the word hello in the color black. And once I do that, I'm just going to take that and add that to the very top of this piece, guys. And I know it's super small, but I still liked it, and I felt like it blended pretty well with this piece. I didn't want to add a half bead or anything there, so that's why I opted for the word hello. And then afterwards, I decided, of course, to add me in a butterfly, and I think it really brought that piece together. So I can't wait for you guys to see it. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about the items from today. So then we're moving on into project number 3. Now I'm painting these plates. These are more of the dessert size ones. I painted them in the color Silver Marlin by Folk Art. Jenny also sent me these wall decals. Never seen these before. Absolutely gorgeous. Love the blue. It's just absolutely beautiful. So what I'm doing is, or what I'm going to do is cut down or cut out a couple of the roses here. I think those are roses, but I'm going to cut them out, and then I'm going to, I'm cutting away the ones around it basically, because they don't really need a whole lot of cutting because they are stickers. And so once I pull them out, it just required a little bit of trim here and there. And what I did take away was, it was some like silverish color there that I didn't really want it to be on the piece, because the roses have like an antique gold going through them, and I wanted to play more to the blue and gold of the wall decals. And here what you see I'm taking is from this, this was a wood cutout. It was in the shape of a rainbow that I picked up from Hobby Lobby while I was on vacation. I'm coloring it in the antique gold color Rub and Buff, and it went perfectly with this wall decal. I was like absolutely spot on in match. So I don't cover the top part of it because I'm going to be connecting it to another wood piece from that same pack. And here is where I remove the sticker. But what I decided to do before I laid this down was like, oh, you know what? I should probably take some of that Rub and Buff and just kind of outline it to keep it from looking like a plate. I couldn't unsee the plate, guys. I couldn't unsee it. And this really worked. This really did. It really did give it vintage vibes. And I have to say, I think this might be my favorite of today. But again, you know, they're all kind of on the same level of likeness. But I do like this. I like the colors here, and I really like the way it came together. So all I do here is I just make sure it's nice and sealed. I go over it with some Mod Podge just a little bit, and I did add in little dabs of hot glue here and there just to make sure it stayed put on top of that Rub and Buff. And then once I put it on there, I did go over it again with some Rub and Buff just to kind of blend it all together. Now I'm going to take these miniature wood rounds and put them on the back of these plates, because I need these to be sturdy when I start bringing it all together. So that's what you see I'm doing here. I do use some hot glue by Gorilla Glue, as well as their regular glue. And once I do that, I take another piece, as I was saying earlier, from that same little rainbow pack, and I'm going to color that in more of the Rub and Buff. And again, just leaving the middle piece at the top of the little arch there, whatever you want to call it. I'm leaving that open so I can glue the two pieces together. And what we're going to make here, guys, is kind of like a vase, if you will, but it could just totally be a shelf sitter. Like, you really don't have to put anything in it. It can stand on its own. But as we wrap this up, you'll see I add some florals in, but I do swap those out for some greenery in the final reveal. So what I'm doing here is where you see I'm going in with the glue and just adding it on the sides, as well as I'm going to add it on the top. I'm sorry, on the bottom of this piece. And it fits very perfect, it was like a perfect match to the back of the plate. There was like very minimal like overage, like it was not hanging over. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. It fit nicely. It was snug as a bug in a rug, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so once I get those lined up, and I think these look absolutely cute. I love the fact that I was able to do it on both sides. And here is where, once I get them centered how I want, I go in with some more glue, and now I add the bottom to this piece to bring it together. And I mean, I can't wait for you guys to see this. I think it came out absolutely adorable. And I did, just full disclosure, I did get a little bit of the rub and buff on the back of it, and I didn't clean it up, but you guys will see it. But I don't think it took away from the piece too much. I think it just added to the vintage charm of it all. But again, you know, you guys can let me know. I did not paint down in the middle of there because I'm like, I'm not wasting paint there or the rub and buff, because nobody is going to see that. And if they see it, then they just needed to see it, but they shouldn't be looking down in there like that. So anyway, so there you have it. There we go. And these were just some florals I had next to me. They are not the ones I'm going to include in this, but I just want you guys to see what it will look like. So here is our fourth project. Again, taking one of the larger plates, foam plates, and I'm taking some of this antique paper. Like, it had like different little sayings on it. Some look like postcards. It had pictures of pears, like all that little stuff. So what I'm doing here is I'm just ripping it up. And I like this technique. I don't do it often on my channel, but I do like it. And you ripped it. Basically, all you do is rip up the pages, and then you take some of the Mod Podge, which is again that multi-purpose or multi-surface Mod Podge, should I say. And these pages, I actually ordered off of Temu probably about a year and a half ago. Never used them. I think I only used them once since I had it. And so I'm just going to create a riser here, guys. And I'm just really going in heavy with that Mod Podge. No rhyme, no reason. Laying down the torn pieces of paper. Once I get that all laid down, I just trim it off around this plate here. And also, once I do that, what I do next is take like this is like a medium size wood round. Now I do paint this off camera, guys, because at this point I didn't think I was going to keep this project either. And I was like, oh man, I don't know. But I had a thought afterwards, was like, just paint the bottom, because my mind was to keep the bottom natural to match the paper, but it was way lighter than what I wanted. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like that even if it's stained or whatever. So I decided to paint it all black at the bottom, but I did that off camera. And also what I decided to do was add in some jute rope around it. So you'll see that once we get to the final reveal. And this is the project, guys, project number 5 that I omitted with the tray. Guys, it was a hot mess, but you will see it in a few seconds. And here we are, guys, with the final reveal. So I want to know if by any chance you had a favorite today. I know that one is a little hanging, a little willy wonky there. I forgot to adjust it. But if you guys had a favorite of today, please let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you haven't already done so, lovies, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. You guys know how I feel about the comments. Keep them coming. I love chatting and laughing with you guys, because you are just as crazy as I am. That's why y'all keep coming back here, because y'all just as crazy as I am. And I love it. I love you, lovies. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for always coming back to ride with me. I absolutely love you guys. So this is our riser, guys. Let me know what you think. How did it come together? Does it look like a pie? I hope not. Kind of, sort of, but let me know, guys. All right, and this is our project that we did not go through. I did not put you guys through that torture. But until the next video, lovies, be safe, be kind, and happy crafting your days away. Hugs and kisses. XOXO. Bye.